Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Eleanor and today I want to talk to you about The Martian by Andy Weir. I finally watched the film. Praise be. Now if you've been following my channel for a while, you'll remember that back in February I made a video titled I've read the book but have I watched the film, where I listed 8 books that I'd read and loved and I was really eager to watch the film. Now the whole idea was that by the end of the year I would have watched all 8 films so that I could do a wrap-up video and I could tell you all my thoughts and what I thought about all these films. But turns out it's the end of 2020 and I hadn't watched any of the films. I have rectified that. On Christmas Eve I watched the Martian film. Yes! So what was going to be a longer video talking about 2001 A Space Odyssey, A Clockwork Orange, World War Z, The Girl with All the Gifts, Ready Player One, Little Women, Warm Bodies, and The Martian is just going to be a video about The Martian, and only The Martian, because I don't really watch TV or films, and it extends to things even when I've pre-planned it, with the intention of watching all these films by the end of the year, and then I forget about it, and this is what you end up with. So, Christmas Eve, I watched The Martian. I actually watched the extended edition, and I looked that up afterwards, but it turns out it was very minor additions. It was a couple extra lines and a few more kind of background shots. It wasn't like anything really pertinent that was added. Made for a long film, but beautiful. So anyway, I've read this book twice, and my sister and my boyfriend were both annoyed that I hadn't watched the film, because my sister had watched the film a couple of times, and she's like, I can't believe you haven't watched the film yet. Okay, the film was excellent. I was quite apprehensive and very intrigued to see how they were going to adapt The Martian, because it is told in logs, log entry Soul 26, log entry Soul 29, kind of like a written log or diary. So I was interested to see how they would develop that on screen, because the character of Mark Watney's consciousness is written down. There's not a lot of like spoken dialogue, so how do you express a man who's all alone on Mars? How do you express his internal monologue externally when it was text-based in the book? But the film did it brilliantly. Instead of it being a text-based log that was being archived by NASA in the hopes that they'd find it later, it was actually a video log, visual log. So the idea was that it was continually recording, so he would say these things out loud to record it kind of vlog style, I should say. And I thought that change was done brilliantly. It really fit with the flow of the story. You still got to see the deep character of Mark Watney and how he struggled on Mars and what he really thought of the situation, and his humour still came through, which is a big part of this book. This book is really funny in a kind of self-depreciating way, and it's quite ridiculous and silly, some of the humour that he has, but obviously this is in face of like certain death on such a desolate place as Mars, and with every option leading to death and his struggle for survival. So his sense of humour was really saving him here. So I was very hopeful and very pleased to see how that was adapted to film, and that it came across really well, because to me that's a huge part of Mark Watney's character. I really like all the actors and actresses they chose for all the characters. I feel like they fit very well. I love Matt Damon. I love a lot of the roles he's played in other films, namely the Jason Bourne films. I'm a big fan here. So I felt like Matt Damon was a great fit for this character, and it worked really well. Obviously with adaptations, especially from like a book that's like 360 something pages long, you can't fit all of this into a film. So it was very obvious that there were certain sections missing. Like if you don't want to be spoiled for anything, I would stop watching now. But the whole section from when he has to navigate the crater, and how the Mav kind of tips and all the disaster that he experiences in that situation, that had to completely be cut out. That's not even referenced at all. But you can't fit everything in, and I think what they did choose to show was a very good balance and showed a well-rounded version of the book, if that makes sense. I'm not sure if the writer Andy Weir had a hand in doing the screenplay, and never thought to do any prior research before doing this video, obviously. I'm a great booktuber. But overall, I really liked how everything was overall shown. The landscape and the depiction of Mars was cinematically very beautiful, and quite scary to realise how alone you are. And overall, I just really enjoyed it. So this was a success. I very much loved the film and loved the book. So yes, it just ends up being a very short video because I'm not talking about 8 films. I'm talking about 1 because I'm a failure and I don't watch films ever. Out of the books that I read that I mentioned and I haven't seen the film, which one do you think I should prioritise to watch next? And who knows, maybe in a year's time I can talk about one more film. Yay me. Anyway, have you read The Martian, or have you watched the film? Did you enjoy it? What did you think? I'd love to have a chat with you in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!